there, future first year student. Welcome to a brand new exciting chapter of your life. I'm Lima Hodzi, and on today's video, I'll be sharing valuable advice on how you can navigate your first year. But before we get into that, I would like to give you a brief background about myself. I studied BCom Economics and Econometrics, and then I pursued my postgrad in financial markets. With my working experience, I currently work as an investment analyst and pivoted into data science. So I currently work as a data scientist. So yeah, that's it from my end about myself. So let's dive right in. First year is all about change, so you need to embrace it. Whether it be moving to a new city, meeting new people, be open to having new experiences. And this is the only chance that you get to discover the type of person that you are. Speaking from my experience, I am originally from the Northwest and I moved to Johannesburg when I started my new degree. So essentially, I had to meet new people that come from different backgrounds, and that transition from being a high scholar to being a university was a big, big change. And I learned to embrace it. Be open to meeting new people. That's very important because the type of people that you meet will either help you discover the person that you are, or they might help guide you and also lead you into being the person that you need to be in your future. Another important advice or factor to take into account as a first year student is accommodation. Accommodation is very important. I cannot stress this enough. You don't want to find yourself looking for accommodation last minute, being stranded and being frustrated. So if possible, secure your space address. If it's not possible for you to secure space address, there are communes available or private accommodations that are available that are closer to your university. So speaking from my experience, initially I did not think that I was going to go to UJ. So I had various options. So I decided to pursue economics. So I had options when it came to economics, it was either VITS, UP, and UJ. But I found that with regards to finances, it would be better for me to pursue my degree at UJ because, firstly, my degree was a double major, which all of these universities were not offering. So my accommodation, I was one of the last people to secure accommodation, but luckily I did secure accommodation. It was with a really close friend of mine. She lived off campus and it was like a 5 minute walk to varsity. So it was a private accommodation, it was an apartment, and we shared it in the first year. So it's very crucial for you to make sure that you secure accommodation because you don't want to find yourself living far from varsity. And if you do live far, you need to factor in that there is transportation costs involved and also your time because travel time is also one of the factors that will affect you if you live far from campus. So that's very, very important to take into account. And also, I didn't want to live at risk because I didn't want to be part of the risk clicks in a sense that I didn't want to go through the processes in order for you to be part of the risk, as in like going through the initiations and so forth. So I didn't feel comfortable with that. Another advice is that time management is key. So with classes, assignments, tutorials, social activities, it can get overwhelming. So it's very important to plan your life because time is of the essence. So you need to make sure that you attend all your classes. That's very important. You don't want to find yourself attending lectures once off and you feel like you know the content. That doesn't work like that because you will find yourself facing a dilemma where you are very stressed last minute. So make sure that you attend all your classes. Your tutorials are very important. You need to attend all your tutorials because the information or the content shared in tutorials often get tested in assignments, in semester tests, and exams. And it's very important for you to attend them because you also get that's your chance to have like one-on-ones with tutors if you do not understand the content. And also what also helped me navigate like my time management skills was that I had like a calendar, right? It was a yearly calendar which had like dates of the month. So essentially on my calendar, I'd write down, let's say we have like assignments due. I'd write down on that specific date that this assignment is due. We are having a semester test on this day. We're having a class test on this day, and my exams are on this day. So that helped me manage how my studies went, and that's very important. And now we live in a digital age, right? We have apps on our phones. We can track things. So you can also use apps on your phones to help you with your time management. And you also need to take into account that with time management, you also need to study as well. Don't leave everything to the last minute. Like, you don't want to find yourself studying for an exam like a day before, because you will be frustrated, and that's not a nice feeling. And catching up with like 6 months, or if it's a yearly course, catching up with content for the whole year in one night, I wouldn't advise that. So if it's possible, make sure that every single time after class, you read through the content, you practice, you understand what's required from you on how to pass that test. And also from my side, I used to go to the library quite often. Like after my tutorials or after my classes, I would go to the library, and it's very helpful because you get the chance to also socialize with other classmates who are there, who understand the content better, and you guys can share like tips, or you can even get like a tutorial as well from your fellow students. So time management, I would say that you need to take that into account. And you also need to factor in that you need to get advice from your mentors or your fellow students, or even your lecturers as well. Like, have one-on-one sessions, and also ask questions. It's very important. Like, let's say you're in a class setting and you have a question based on the content that the lecturer is sharing with you guys. If you are scared to share the question in the class, you can wait up until the class is over and you can ask that question. Or you can also set time with your lecturer or your tutor and ask them those questions so that you can better understand the content. This is one of the most important tips that I can also share with you, is that you need to take care of your well-being, be it mental or physical well-being. Those are top priorities. Make sure that you sleep enough, you eat well, and also you can take breaks in between studying. I'm gonna speak on my experiences. So I used to suffer a lot from insomnia because I was a very anxious person, you know. When you're used to being like a high achiever growing up in high school, you want to implement that going into varsity, and that leads to a lot of anxiety issues that you eventually develop, and that led me to being an insomniac. So that I struggle with a lot, but I implore you, or I ask you to take care of your well-being, your physical and your mental well-being. So from my side, what I tried to do is that I went to gym, right? I made sure that I go gym so that I can release the stress, the pressure. I made sure that I tried eating well. So speaking on the eating part, I know that in varsity we have money that we never used to get like in high school, right? So speaking from my experience, fortunately, I was on a bursary, so I would get like a stipend like in a card, but they installed it in like the university card that you used to take in, or yeah, the one that you use at varsity. So I only had the chance to like use it in the university setting. I couldn't use it outside university. But fortunately enough, my parent gave me an allowance. And with that allowance, I would buy food, and that helped me cook more as well, because I also shared with my friends. So we also had that thing where we took turns with cooking, and that helped us eat a bit healthier for a student then. But yeah, it's very important. Yeah, playing sports is very important. I went to gym. I was also part of the dancing classes at school. I taught dancing at school, and I was also part of the cheerleading team. So make sure that you can manage your time and that you're taking into account your physical well-being. And if you're struggling like mentally, I think I've also said it in one of the past tips included, is that we have like support, we have an office at school that can help you with career guidance. We have psychologists on campus that can help you, with your mental health as well. So don't stay there and be in your corner and go through the emotions or go through the pressures alone. There are people that are there to help you. So you need to take that into account, that your physical and mental well-being is very, very important. Another tip is exploring other activities. Like we are in a state, like when you're a university student, you're exposed to a lot of things. So try as much as possible to join clubs, speak to people, learn the type of person that you are. So from my experience, I joined FIDS, which was sort of like an organization which connected us with companies. We would go out, speak to CEOs, even people that work there, get advice, and that will also help open paths and also expose you to a lot of career options that you have. So be open to that. Also enjoy, have fun. If you're learning to go out with one person that never used to go out and you're going out, go with a group of friends. Make sure that you're safe, because we live in a country that is crime stricken. So please, if you're one person that wants to go out and explore the city and so forth, make sure that you're with people that you trust, be it your friends or people around you. And if you are starting a new habit, because I know you are exposed to a lot of things, like let's say, for example, you're drinking, make sure that your drink is covered at all times. Make sure that you are the only person paying for your own drinks, because you don't know what people might add to your drinks. You don't want to find yourself in a hospital or even, deceased because you expose yourself to things that you should have avoided. And also make sure that you have enough money for Ubers, because it's very important. You don't want to find yourself stranded or reaching out to people you shouldn't be reaching out to because you made poor decisions. So do things with an open mind, but also enjoy yourself. This is very important. This is very important as a student. Be mindful of your finances. Because I know that you are getting more money. You're exposed to a lot of things, but you need to budget wisely. For example, let's say you're getting 1,000 rand as an allowance. Make sure that maybe 600 goes into necessities like your groceries, your toiletries, and if it's transport as well, take that into account. You don't want to find yourself squandering the money that you should have saved. Because I know that it gets to a point where, as a student, like you're going out and then you end up using all your money at one go, and then towards the middle of the month, you are broke. You can't even afford food. I think it's one thing that you can avoid. So be very mindful of your finances. And as a student, we are exposed to a lot of discounts. So if there's a store like your Fushinis, your Fixes, your Max, like those retail stores that offer discounts for students, and you have that money saved up, you can use that to get a discount. And also, I know with grocery shops as well, they do offer student discounts. So if possible, let's say on a Monday they're offering a student discount at Pick and Pay, use that to your full advantage. And also, one thing that I ask, that I humbly ask of you, is to not take on credit as a student, because credit is one thing that you want to avoid at all costs. If you are cash strapped, do not find yourself in a situation where you want to get a credit card because you want to buy certain things. Because as a student, you're given a certain allowance and you need to manage it properly. And also taking credit, that might effectively affect your credit score once you get exposed into the outside world, and you don't want to find yourself being stranded or being in a situation where you can't buy certain things in your adult life because your credit score is quite bad. So make sure that you try to avoid credit at all costs. Like don't take in gym contracts, because I know those ones bind you, and as a student you only have limited capacity or limited amount of money that you get into your account. So don't do those gym contracts. If possible, get a gym that pays month to month. And lastly, stay positive. I know that university can be tough, can be hectic, can be overwhelming, So make sure that you always have like a positive mindset, because that opens up a lot of opportunities for you, and that's also room for growth because you get to experience the type of person that you are and discover yourself as an individual. So yeah, that's it. Enjoy your experience, have fun, and be great, and welcome to your first year in university. And also remember, it's perfectly fine to not have everything figured out. You know, the world is your oyster. Be adventurous, enjoy your life, enjoy your life at university, because I know adulting is hectic. So make the most of it, enjoy your experience, and make sure that you pass, because we are there to reach an end goal. But yeah, that's it from my end. Thank you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you do have any questions, recommendations, comments, or if you just want to talk, you know, the link is there, the comment section is there. Make sure that you use it. I will answer all your questions, and let's engage there. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.